Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the finale of the ISSA Schoolgirls football final. It will be taking place between Excelsior High and Camperdown. Both teams, of course, won their semi-finals in pretty convincing fashion. Excelsior beat Merle Grove 2-0 in the semi-finals thanks to goals from Khalid Stewart and Yashika Lewis, while Camperdown dispatched of Garvey Maceo 4-0 with O'Neilla Perkins, Renee Smith, Ticia Gale, and Jamelia Thomas all getting themselves on the score sheet. And it does promise to be an exciting game for you tonight, or this evening rather. Of course, Excelsior will perhaps come into this to some as favourites, given that they've won the competition 9 years running. They'll be looking for a 10th. Of course, their coach during that entire time, that run, has been Xavier Gilbert, and he'll be looking to see if he can make it a decade-long reign in this competition. Of course, he does have other responsibilities, given that he is now the coach of the Montego Bay United Football Club, who are, of course, top of the Jamaican Premier League, and he has really been able to balance his responsibilities well, setting this Excelsior team up for success, and not just one-off, but as I mentioned before, given that they're in their 10th straight final, prolonged success. He's done an excellent job, but he's coming up against a very, very good team here in Camperdown. I'm just seeing the formalities before the game gets underway here. Just a shaking of hands of the dignitaries, those who helped to make this competition possible, tournament officials. That was the national anthem, and now we'll be having the final start for you shortly. We'll have the lineups as well for both teams as soon as possible. For Excelsior, we have Sashoya, Rihanna Berry, Yesenia Grant, Kalisa Stewart, Kyra Grant, Shantae Price, Jennifer Williams, Neela Malcolm, Brianna Edwards, Emily Plomo, and Shiona Ashman. And as for Camperdown, we have Italia Robinson, Rihanna Nugent, Bianca McDonald, Tavia Gale, Adriana Morris, Brooklyn Grant, Renice Smith, Jamelia Thomas, O'Neilla Perkins, Danica Berry, Carissa Salmon. As mentioned before, both teams coming into this having won their respective semi-finals. Excelsior 2-0 over Merle Grove High, and Camperdown were victorious over Garva Maceo in a thumping, resounding 4-0 victory. And they'll be hoping that they can secure, of course, Excelsior, that is a 10th straight title. Of course, they'd have also managed to capture the Manning Cup earlier in the year following their victory over Jamaica College. They'll be hoping that they can win the title in their female counterparts competition. Of course, this is a pipeline to the national setup for future Reggae Girls prospects who themselves are doing pretty well. Of course, won their last game 4-0 over Antigua Barbuda and are pretty much certain to top their group. And should they win their last game and then win their quarterfinal matchup, that will see them go to back-to-back World Cups. Of course, having made it in 2019. And led by, of course, Captain Khadija Bonichan. Of course, they did make it to the knockout stages. They'll be hoping for the opportunity to go even one better. But for now, we have a few young girls here who have hopes of one day donning that jersey of the Reggae Girls as well. And I look forward as the game gets underway here to see what these young ladies are up to. Camperdown, clear downfield, looking there for Jennifer Williams, unable to find her. And Camperdown lose position there. And Camperdown managed to get the ball out wide. Good control there, and a pass wide, but that's intercepted, and that will be a throw-in pretty high up the pitch for Camperdown. Throw-in taking long, opting to try to go into the box with that. Unfortunately, it didn't go all the way through. Now Excelsior can spring a counter-attack. Good build-up play thus far, but lost the ball. Good defending there. Ball's played downfield. Good defending once more by Camperdown. Nugent clears downfield, trying to find a teammate, but Excelsior able to deal with that. Nugent, obviously perhaps the tallest player on the pitch. Her defending so far in the opening stages of this game has been really good. No matter of nerves getting to her thus far. And that's calmly collected in goal there by Sashoya. A good move there, and she earns a foul. Adriana Morris. Lovely turn to just evade pressure, and I actually thought she had won a foul, but seems the play will go the other way. Shantae Price to take for Excelsior. And we're here as the free kick is taken up the field, live at the Womas Girls High School for this ISSA Schoolgirl football final. Rainy weather, not the ideal conditions for football to be played, but nevertheless promises to still be an exciting clash in what has been an amazing tournament thus far. That's put out of play once more for another throw into Excelsior, who haven't as yet begun to settle into the game. And of course, we do get the feeling that the first goal in an encounter like this could carry an enormous amount of weight. But it's important, of course, for these young girls that they play the game and not the occasion. They don't think too much about how important it could be. Of course, be cognizant of the fact that, yes, this could shape your future in many ways, because should you play well here, this will garner a lot of attention, but still, it's an opportunity for you to just go out and show your best football and just keep doing what you've practiced all season long. And Camperdown have a chance to do this here, trying to get that crossfield pass there to her teammate there on that occasion, Jamelia Thomas, who, as I mentioned before, scored in the last game, unable to get it out wide, however. But Camperdown do get the ball back, and if I were to say who's dominated proceedings thus far, I can't say either one, but Camperdown have had more of the football thus far. Excelsior, as I mentioned before, do come into it as favorites, but giving Camperdown's confidence following that 4-0 win. And they will not be daunted by the threat that Excelsior poses. And this free kick will be taken now by Excelsior. Play downfield, and it's controlled, but she's lost the ball. Lofted upfield now. Excelsior regain possession. Neither team really able to put their imprint on the game thus far. A good bit of dribbling there to beat her opposition, and miscontrol there, and that's cleared upfield by Camperdown. Defending pretty well thus far. And on that occasion, Bianca McDonald just clearing her lines. Ball played into the left-hand side, and in an offside position there, Arenia Campbell looking to just get behind the defense line, but just failed to look across the line there on that occasion. Does well to try to find her teammate there, unable to, but Excelsior regain possession once more. A bit of dangerous play around the back from Excelsior, but they've somehow managed to retain possession, beginning to just overload certain areas of the pitch, but he just can't quite be able to, as yet, really get the right pass into the final third. They've struggled really in the build-up play once they've crossed the opposition's half so far in the game. Of course, just 7 minutes into this, I have plenty of time to go, but it does seem that nerves may perhaps playing a part in the opening proceedings of this game. Good step over there and makes a pass. Sorted out her feet in time. Makes that pass. Camperdown win the ball high up the field now. Ooh, and last pass is intercepted now by Excelsior, and they're through on goal. Can Tom score? Arenia has a chance, and it's blocked. Camperdown escape there. The first real chance of the game coming in the 8th minute. Beautiful pass to split the line there of the defense, but Not enough power there on the shot. It went past the goalkeeper but didn't go all the way across the line. And that was cleared off the line. Arenia Campbell narrowly denied. Arenia Campbell will feel as though she squandered a great chance to put her team in front. But great work there by the number 10 to get onto that pass in a flash. Good positioning, good awareness. Pass played there. It's gotten out wide, but that's intercepted now by Excelsior. And Camperdown win the ball high up the pitch. Jamila Thomas gets it out wide to Renee Smith. Both goal scorers in the last game. And that's played out wide by Adriana Morris. Ooh, and that seems to be a foul there on Campbell. Free kick to Excelsior. And the free kick now will be taken by Shantae Price. Just urging her teammates, just go up a bit further forward. She's going to opt to kick it long. And I think that a direct approach perhaps actually would favor Camperdown. Have a bit more size in their back line as well as up front. Just right across the team really. Seem to be a more physically dominant team. However, technically, Excelsior do tend to excel. I have a lot of players who can really hurt you with the ball at their feet in terms of their skill, their dribbling, their ability to pick out a pass. And the ball played there up to Emily Plummer. Lost position. Has a chance to take a shot from the edge of the box now. Jennifer Williams. She plays it across. Now that goes across to Calicia. And she's fouled, it seems. Is it inside the box? It seems it will be a free kick just outside. But good work there by Calissa Stewart just to draw the attention of the defense. Force a foul in a pretty dangerous area. And Camperdown are in real danger here. It seems this will be taken by Jennifer Williams. Goalkeeper opting for a 3-woman wall. 4 actually. And just trying their best to obstruct Williams. We'll see if she has anything up her sleeve. Can she break the deadlock in this ISSA Schoolgirls final? Williams straight into the wall. She gets it back, however, and loses possession. Camperdown have a chance now to get a counter attack, but couldn't find Morris there, and that's cleared up field. Cleared by McDonald. And Calissa Stewart loses the possession. And McDonald clears up field once more, but much to the dismay there of Danica Berry, it's not necessarily a pass that goes on target. Number of players in this competition right throughout, especially for Excelsior, have already represented the Reggae Girls at the junior level. And they'll be hoping, as I mentioned before at the start of this game, that eventually they can break into the senior team. This is the stage to show what you're made of, what you're worth. You already know the level of attention and prestige that comes with schoolboy and schoolgirl football, but especially given how well the Reggae Girls are doing at the moment, there will be that added level of prestige, I should say, and welcome attention from more upcoming talent. Berry trying to beat her opponent there, loses possession. And McDonald once more coming in to win the ball there for Camperdown. That will be a throw-in for Excelsior. Excelsior tend to try to overload this right-hand side of the pitch just to get those quick little interchanges of position, but they usually try to do it as a tactic to find the weak link in the defense and just play that pass over the top eventually. But seems they've gone a bit too direct, a bit early on a few occasions, surrendering position unnecessarily. And Carissa Stewart, who is one of their best players, has tended to be cut. She's actually cut a rather frustrated and isolated figure thus far. Has played upfield. And Excelsior once more winning the ball back high up the pitch. Nutmeg there by Williams, but she loses the position to her opposite number 8. That is Brooklyn Grant, and for her troubles, she does win herself a throw-in, which Brianna McDonald will go over to take for Camperdown. And that should be a foul, but referee waves play on, and actually it will be a free kick, I believe, a throw-in rather to Excelsior. And as you do know, in schoolgirl football we do tend to play a bit less minutes. But here in the 16th minute, there's a chance here. Stewart with a cross. But no accuracy or power on that. And that's pretty easy to claim there for Camperdown's goalkeeper. And that would be cleared downfield. Now Excelsior have to defend their own goal. Carissa Stewart will be feeling a bit disappointed with herself on that occasion. Didn't get enough power on that cross. But so far, Excelsior having the better of the half chances and the really one real opportunity in this game that's come about thus far. Courtesy, of course, of that shot by Rainia Campbell, which was cleared off the line. Good defending by Camperdown on that occasion. But now Jennifer Williams gets that out wide. And there seems to be a collision there, but no foul, and I believe Camperdown when they throw in here, which Carissa Salmon will go over to take. And Excelsior win a throw in here. Coming forward here with Cara Grant, but she's lost the ball. And now Camperdown. Ball played by Rick. Ooh, and that's cut out by Excelsior. Pass to Jennifer Williams. And as usual, Excelsior just patient in their build-up play, but they've lost it here high up the pitch. Pretty dangerous area. Berry trying to keep it in play, unable to. And Price just signaling for the ball as she allows her teammate Rana Berry to take the throw in. And that's headed away by Price. Trying to get past two players there was Morris, but unable to. Ooh, and Excelsior have a chance now with Stewart to counter. Jennifer playing the ball over the top. And there goes that signature move there. Usually try to play 2 or 3 quick passes as they overload certain areas of the pitch before playing it over the top. And it's worked to great effect thus far, creating 2 really good opportunities, just unable to play the final pass or get the right shot off on either occasion. But thus far, Excelsior looked the better of the 2 teams in possession. Perkins with the miscontrol there, and that will go all the way out for a throw into Excelsior. Ball played to Williams. Does well to get it out wide to Arania. Campbell, lovely pass, but unable to be controlled there by her teammate. And Camperdown have a chance now with Jamelia Thomas to get it up field, but unable to. And once more, another turnover here. Rain really pouring down here at the Women's Girls High School. The field is taking a beating. Camperdown once more take the throw in. Looking for Thomas, unable to find her. And that will be ushered out there for a goal kick by Yesenia Grant. Shiona Ashman, I think she thought that it was a goal kick, and I thought so as well. But it seems that the referee has signaled for a corner kick to be taken by Camperdown, the first corner kick of the game. And given the height disadvantage, the height disparity between the 2 teams, you could really see set pieces being a real threat for Camperdown in this game. They're gonna have to make it a weapon here. Try to open the scoring. Corner taken, and unable to really make much of it, but the cross comes back in, and Ashman clears, headed away, and this time Williams clears her lines. The initial corner kick wasn't the best, but did get another cross in there, and Shiona Ashman really had to stretch to get to it, but it seems that even though she cleared it, it has come at a cost. And she is down, injured currently. Just with a slight knock. And hopefully she'll be okay to continue for the rest of the game. Ashman's still down, and while she's down, Camperdown are getting some instructions there. Both teams really seeming to be just using the short intermission to receive some tactical instructions from Camperdown. Are pretty much talking among themselves, but Excelsior, all of them have gone over to Xavier Gilbert to receive just some guidance as to how to proceed. And I think how they proceed, not just tactically in terms of how they sit up and their shape, but how they manage the occasion emotionally will be pretty important. And of course, I do think fear will play a part. Of course, they'll want to avoid certain areas of the pitch, and that does come into your mind as a footballer at times as to how you approach the game with the level of trepidation. When you know that the pitch is soggy, you can get embarrassed at any moment. Shot there, blocked, cleared. Camperdown still have possession, but they've lost it. Now Carlissa Stewart brings it forward, but her pass not on target, and that's cleared away downfield, and Sheena Ashman can come for that and collect that pretty comfortably for Camperdown, for Excelsior rather. Rihanna Nugent once more intercepts. She's defended pretty well thus far, along with McDonald. Oh, and that's played all the way through. And, oh, good defending there, but Carlissa Stewart has been judged to have handled the ball, and that will be a free kick for Camperdown. Excelsior still haven't cleared, and Thomas has a shot, but didn't quite make the connection with it that she perhaps would have wanted, and that will be a easy shot in the end for Ashman to collect. Clear downfield. And, oh, she's missed it here, and Carlissa Stewart has a chance to really run at Gale. Oh, and she's lost position in the dangerous area, trying to get it beyond McDonald, who's defended valiantly thus far. Bianca McDonald easily claimed. A couple more opportunities now for both teams as the game has progressed, as the game's opened up, but rather tame efforts at goal thus far. Renee Smith trying to play that to a teammate, but he's lost possession. Gale playing it now to Smith. And Jamila Thomas does some wonderful work there to get past the defender. Back to Thomas. Loses possession. And McDonald once more collecting possession for Camperdown. She's placed it out wide, but her teammate there, Brooklyn Grant, unable to get to it in time. And Excelsior do have a throw in now. Been end-to-end stuff here thus far in this opening stage of this game. Of course, as I was trying to mention before, early in the game, schoolboy and schoolgirl football does tend to be short in terms of minutes than the senior professional standards or requirements. Instead of 45 minutes, usually for boys you have 40, and for the girls today you do have 35, and who knows, based on the amount of rain that's falling here, it could have perhaps even less than that. Free kick now to be taken by Gale. Oh, it's a good one, and it's saved by Ashman. It was central, but it had some decent amount of power and height on it. And Ashman once more having to extend herself to make a pretty important save. And it seems that she's done it, but at what cost? Once more, she is down. She's holding her shoulder in pain. Getting some treatment, and she should be able to continue. As the corner comes in, Camperdown really ratcheting up the pressure now. Corner comes in, it's a good delivery, headed away at the near post. On that occasion by Price. And that will go all the way through for another throw in to Camperdown. Camperdown really looking good thus far in spurts, but in those short bursts where they've managed to create some opportunities, they've created some really good ones, forced some diving efforts out of Ashman in goal. Throw in taken now. Headed on by Grant. Only as far as the edge of the box. Shot blocked. And Excelsior escape once more. Ball played out wide to Gale. Good control. Had a goal from there, but blocked, and that will go out for a throw once more. And she's lost position there, Morris rather, but judged to have been fouled, and Camperdown will want to perhaps have another goal from here. Seems that at the moment Morris is still down here. And before the resumption of the game and the eventual free kick, she'll just be getting some treatment. Thus far, I have to say, however, both teams, despite the differing styles and approaches to the game, it has made for an exciting clash between the two, which was expected. Both teams are full of goals and excitement. Some really interesting players on the show, and that's been the case thus far. And Tavia Gale has a chance to put herself on the map with a free kick here. We'll see what she can do. Do know she has some power in those feet. She has a goal from distance, and once more Ashman is on hand to make the save. And cleared downfield now for Excelsior. When she's lost the ball to Morris, who gets past one and makes the pass, trying to get it into the path there of a teammate, but it seems as there's a yellow card that's been brandished, and perhaps rightfully so, for that foul there on Morris. And just confirmation there that it is Brianna Edwards who has picked up that booking there for the foul on Adriana Morris. It seems Bianca McDonald rather will take this free kick, and she has a goal from distance. Oh, on his head, and caused problems there. Headed by her own teammate, caused problems in the Excelsior backline. Plenty of chaos, but now it's Jamelia Thomas on the ball. Lost position, but now it's back with McDonald. Oh, lovely pass. And a shot. And saved once more by Ashman. Shot coming in there from Jennifer Williams. Not Jennifer Williams, rather. Brooklyn Rant. Did well to engineer some space in that area of the pitch, but ooh, a bit of mix up there almost on the back line. Almost led to a pretty costly opportunity, but now Excelsior do have the ball back once more. Now here's Williams trying to play it out wide to Campbell, but that's intercepted, but only as far as Brianna Edwards. Now is Williams again once more on the ball, back to Edwards. Ooh, the pitch proving to be an issue now. It's making the ball pretty hard to play across the surface. Now it's Jamila Thomas trying to skip past a couple of players, but gets fouled and wins a free kick for Camperdown. Not long left in this half, ladies and gentlemen. And Tavia Gale will see if she can put in a delivery that can cause some problems. She's already produced a few thus far. Another one coming in that's headed away by Price. Headed on once more, but only as far as Grant. And she seems to have won a corner for Camperdown. One last opportunity perhaps for Camperdown to really get in front and put their imprint on this game. Once more it is Gale who go across to take. Corner coming in. Oh, and it's headed on by Morris, but unfortunately she couldn't guide the header goalward, and it's actually headed back where she was coming from. The technique on that was poor, but nevertheless the effort is to be applauded. Another chance goes a begging though for Camperdown. Price cleared downfield now by Camperdown. McDonald looking for Thomas, unable to find her. Headed away, and that's a foul being given for the shove on Kyra Grant, which Price will take as usual. An important thing to watch for in the second half is the girls at this level do tend to get tired pretty easily, as we see that header on for Calissa Stewart. Oh, she's gotten past the defender here, but it's across into the box and cleared. Valiant defending. Carissa Salmon had to be there. And you can see once more Carlissa Stewart doing well there to get past Rihanna Nugent. Brilliant piece of dribbling there. As Price goes across to take this corner kick. Brilliant piece of work by Excelsior. They haven't had much of the ball in the past 10 minutes, but they have a chance to make this one count, and this could very well be the last opportunity of the half. Price with the corner now, and a shot comes in, but Williams unable to get the right connection with it, and the shot goes wide. I mentioned before that Carlissa Stewart hasn't really had much of the ball, and when she does, hasn't been exactly fruitful with it, but that was a great opportunity right there. Did well to beat Nugent, but now here's an opportunity for Excelsior on that right hand side of the pitch, and Tavia Gale does well to put that out of play for a throw-in. Throw-in taking long now, looking for the head of Williams, cleared by McDonald. Edwards back to Williams, and she's taken down in a dangerous area. Free kick for Excelsior. Apologies, folks. I did communicate earlier that they do tend to play shorter minutes in this competition, but the last couple of games they've actually been playing the full 45, so my apologies for that, folks at home. But that just means more action for us. Free kick coming in now, good one as well, and almost spilled by the goalkeeper there for Camperdown, but she eventually composes herself, collected it, and she'll play this downfield, looking for Grant, but goes out of play. And that's a fall there. Excelsior, Rainier Campbell. It's kind of a couple of those. Her ability on the ball has seen her draw a lot of attention, and perhaps could be a tactic that they use moving forward, especially in the second half as players begin to get weary. Now, goal kick for Camperdown. The rain proving to be a problem here for everyone, not just the players but the producers and the commentators as well, it's obstructing my view of the game. But nevertheless, ball played upfield now for Grant, and that's intercepted. Well, not intercepted, goes out of play rather. Now it's Jennifer Williams. Another obstruction by the pitch, chipped into the air for Rainier Campbell. And seems to have been handball, but the referee didn't call it. Another almost costly error there because of the rain. McDonald loses position high up the pitch. Only one player in the box, however. Oh, a nutmeg there, and she's won the ball back. And she's taken down, and the referee says no foul. And a shot coming in, and almost spilled into the goal. You can see, you can hear the shouts and the protest. Many believe that perhaps should have been a penalty, and I have to say, ladies and gentlemen, it's a close call. The challenge did come late after the pass had already been played. She did catch her. Excelsior in the last couple of minutes really trying to establish themselves and get a goal here. It's been a game of... It's been a roller coaster of a game, really. Both teams taking control of the match in spurts. A 10-minute spell here and a 10-minute spell there for both teams in terms of having control of the game. But now it's Calista Stewart, who's already had a couple of flashes of brilliance so far in this game. Ooh, and one back position here. Morris. Does well there to get past her defender, but Thomas unable to hold on to the ball. And that's clear downfield, looking for Rainier Campbell. But the goalkeeper of Camperdown just comes out wisely, collects the ball. Norris Smith trying to find Thomas, but the pass goes astray, and now Excelsior can move forward. That pass there wasn't particularly good either. Smith trying to find Thomas once more, and that's cleared again. Calista Stewart handled the ball there following Nugent's pass, and that will be a free kick for Camperdown. Gale has already produced a number of chances for Camperdown thus far from her set pieces. Real dead ball specialist thus far. They'll be hoping for another good one here Just put it into the danger zone. Not the requisite quality that time. And referee blows for halftime here in the ISSA Schoolgirl final between Camperdown and Excelsior. It's been an exciting clash here with both teams having a number of chances, some missed calls as well, couple of half opportunities as well. But as it currently remains at the break, Camperdown 0 and the reigning champions, the defending champions, Excelsior 0. We'll be back after the break, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, we are about to get underway for the second half of this match, the ISSA Schoolgirls football final between Excelsior and Camperdown, both teams dispatching of Merle Grove and Garvey Maceo respectively, 2-0 and 4-0 in their semi-finals just a couple of days ago. Now they're facing off here at Women's Girls Field for the showdown of what could be their lifetime. Many of these players have the opportunity now, should they put on a show in the second half. They have the opportunity to perhaps make a name for themselves and, who knows, get a professional contract. Ooh, as a cross comes into the back post, claimed there by Camperdown. This goalkeeper, and she has acquitted herself quite well. Talking of making a name for yourself, made a couple of saves, both goalkeepers really, Ashman and her. But number of members of staff for the Reggae Girls, as well as a former Reggae boy in Dion Burton, are here today watching this game. Oh, the lovely ball played through for Arenia Campbell. She has an opportunity to go for goal from here and saved. What a save. Yes, it was at a good height for her, but still, brilliant effort from Campbell. Perhaps could have gone to taking more space up before she decided to take that shot, but nevertheless, great effort. And now Renee Smith will go across to take this throw in for Camperdown. Immediately, almost. Right from kickoff, right from the kickoff of this second half. Excelsior putting pressure on Camperdown, trying to get that effort into goal there, but as it remains 0-0, have to say Arenia Campbell has been at times really good. Curtis Stewart, she's been on and off at times, but her dribbling to dispatch of Rihanna Nugent on that one chance earlier in the, well, later on in the second half was pivotal to creating a really good chance, but unfortunately just couldn't take advantage. Campbell wins yet another free kick, something that she did quite a lot of early in the first half. Shantae Price, the skipper for Excelsior, will be taking this set piece. Grant just standing over the ball, but Price eventually takes the free kick. It's a decent one as well, but no one there able to meet it to apply that finishing touch, and that will go across for a goal kick to Camperdown. As mentioned before, Excelsior 9-time defending champions. Yes, if you don't quite believe it, you did actually hear right. They've won this competition 9 years running. Xavier Gilbert at the helm for all 9 victories for Excelsior, and they'll be hoping to make this the 10th year in a row that they get the victory in the ISSA Schoolgirls final. Xavier Gilbert has been key to making sure that Excelsior stay atop the pyramid of schoolgirl football. You can see his imprint on how they play, and of course it does go without saying that, given that he is the coach for Montego Bay United, who are also atop the Jamaican Premier League, he's done an amazing job at just balancing his responsibilities and his commitments to both programs. Unbelievable work from him, and what about that work ethic as well, to be disciplined enough to be able to handle both. And a cross comes in here, and Ashman easily deals with that before that could get to Jamelia Thomas. Ooh, Tavia Gale with a pretty unconventional attempt to control the ball, and that's gone away through for Stewart, who had a shot, but regardless of the fact that it was off target, she was offside, so in any event it really wouldn't have counted. But nevertheless, beautiful passage of play once more from Excelsior, who, as I mentioned before, there is a contrast in styles between the two. Excelsior do tend to be more technical in their approach, tend to really emphasize getting 3 or 4 players to overload a side of the pitch before playing the ball over the top to try to utilize the speed up top of Arania Campbell and Carlissa Stewart. As I mentioned before, a number of really important figures. A number of important figures here watching the game. Dion Burton, as I mentioned before, the former Reggae Boy, in attendance. As well as Chanel Buckley, who's a former Excelsior representative and is currently a Reggae Girl, as well as Morgan Rule, who's a goalkeeper coach. Dion Burton, as I mentioned before, is the assistant coach for Excelsior. Excelsior still have position now. Price gets beyond Thomas. Still has the ball, Price, despite the waterlogged pitch. And lose position eventually there, Excelsior. Now here's Grant. Ooh, and seems to be a foul off the ball on Campbell. But now here's Williams. Play continues even with both players being down. And Excelsior through on goal here. The shot! And it's dragged just wide. And both players, Campbell and number 17 for Camperdown, they're both still down. Saw a really good opportunity. Just go begging on that occasion for Excelsior. That number 17, I believe, is Carissa Salmon. I really don't think that she did it on purpose, however. Thinking back to the clash between them, seems she just perhaps lost her footing and stumbled into the back of Arania Campbell. Unfortunately, it's rendered both of them picking up some knocks. Hopefully they'll be okay though to continue. And that shot a while ago just coming courtesy of Excelsior's number 9. Yes, Sheikah Lewis, who did score in their previous game. She's just come off the bench, didn't start today, which of course, given that she scored in the semi-final, some may have wondered why she didn't start today, but nevertheless it's good to have options off the bench who can provide that clinical finishing touch in front of goal. Lewis picks up the ball here and gets past a couple of defenders. Playing a pass through now for Carlissa Stewart, trying to get past Gale, and she does come out there. Goalkeeper for Camperdown, great work, but it seems she's down. And she's still down there in quite some pain. Both goalkeepers have enjoyed some spells on the ground doing their jobs, but at a price. But for a final like this, you have to lay your body on the line. As mentioned before, a lot to play for, of course, not just money or the fact that your team wins, but individually It's a chance really to announce yourself to the on a national stage, a national scale, get the attention of plenty of onlookers who could perhaps be interested in getting these girls professional contracts, whether it be locally on the professional scene, Jamaican Women's Premier League, or whether it be being invited to play for the national team, whether it be the under 14s or the national women's senior team eventually in a couple of years. But this is the breeding ground, if you will, the training ground for players who could eventually become good enough to represent our nation. And this is important for their development. Games like this, high stakes matches. Renee Smith, no stranger to those. Ball played up to, well, in the vicinity of Jamila Thomas, but that's a foul there by Excelsior. Neela Perkins, who, as mentioned before, did score in the previous game, fouled there on that occasion by Neela Malcolm. Delivered downfield by McDonald. Only the clearance goes only as far as Grant there, but pass goes all the way through to the goalkeeper, and that's cleared downfield now for Excelsior, with Campbell trying to beat out Nugent once more, but Nugent does well this time to intercept, and a poor clearance there. And now Excelsior have the ball high up the pitch. And Kyra Grant will take this throw in, but I have to see Campbell causing all sorts of problems there. Sheikah Lewis can also do some damage, but couldn't collect that one in front of goalkeeper for Camperdown, who's been excellent today. Clear downfield towards Thomas, but goes all the way through. Thomas on the ball. Plays it across, trying to find Grant. Unable to. And that's clear downfield, but now it's Smith. And a ball there by Adriana Morris, unable to find her teammate though. Now is Calista Stewart. Unmarked. Trying to play a pass to Arania Campbell. Oh, and she has the ball now following that mistake, but Tavia Gale does well there to just sweep up the danger. Picking up the pieces following that mistake there. And Morris, another wayward pass. Does well to shield the ball there. That pass goes astray, however, and that will be a throw-in for Camperdown. Pretty good work by Grant there in the middle of the park to shield that ball a few moments ago. Just using her body to really good effect. And Lewis wins the ball there, but couldn't prevent it from going out for another throw-in to Camperdown. That pass goes all the way through to Lewis, but she's shoved off of it there. Good defending on that occasion. Ooh, and that's most definitely a handball. No doubts about that. Neela Malcolm, rather. Can't really have too many complaints. And to be honest, she's quite fortunate not to have been booked on that occasion. Ooh, poor miscontrol there. But Grant unable to capitalize. Stewart. Good pass, good interplay there with Williams. Lovely work there, and a good ball out wide to find Arania Campbell. Lovely pass from Williams. Campbell cross-cuts pass across the face of the box, but face of the goal rather, but unable to find Yashika Lewis in the box. But seems something has gone into the eye of the goalkeeper there. She's down once more. She's been in place of Italia Robinson today, and she has done an amazing job in goal. Both these goalkeepers really have put their body on the line. Shiona Ashman, of course, her opposite number. I mean, a couple of saves as well. And thankfully she's okay. And have the game being resumed shortly. Let's play downfield. Now it's Williams coming forward. There's acres of space to run into and plays that out wide. Grant gets it back. Loses possession, however. Camperdown clear it now to Jamila Thomas. She has players to her right. She finds Brooklyn Grant. And that's swept up there. Good defensive work by Yesenia Grant. Grant fouled there by Brooklyn. That will be a free kick, which will be taken by Brianna Edwards, but instead she leaves it for Shantae Price. And that's headed away. And seems to have been a foul there. And that will, I believe, be a foul on Carissa Salmon. McDonald leaves it for Gale to take. As mentioned before a number of times now, that her set pieces have been pretty instrumental. Been dangerous thus far. They'll see if they can get another excellent service out of her. And that's headed on by Grant, trying to find Renee Smith. And good defending on that occasion by Yesenia Grant, just to let that go out for a goal kick, keeping the ball away from Renee Smith. Price kicks downfield to Gale. Morris. Good pass. Neela Perkins trying to find her teammate there, Danica Berry, but unable to. And Lewis pass. No one hears. Ooh, Carissa Stewart almost trying to get around Carissa Salmon, but unable to, fortunately for her. And that's played to the goalkeeper there. The best pass in the world. And they've lost the ball now. Brianna Edwards, poor control there, but she's won the ball back. And she actually has her shin guard in her hand while she cleared that out of play. And the referee just instructing her to either cast it down or put it back on. But playing it with it in her hand is not going to be a good decision for her. Long term, of course. Now set it on. Grant clears. Gale skips past one. Clears downfield. And that's headed away by Price. McDonald. Ooh, a bit of a mix-up there between the two. Campbell tried to get into the fray there, but wisely made a business decision there to get out of the way before the two incoming Camperdown players could collapse on her. But now that's played out wide by Nugent. And good build-up play here between Grant and Salmon. Smith, lovely ball out wide now to Grant. trying to beat Edwards. Skips past her. Cross comes in. And it's a good cross. Well, a good attempt, but it's gone behind the goal. Good build-up play, I should say. But the end result, not necessarily what they would have wanted. That would be a goal kick to Excelsior. Price clears downfield, headed away by Gale. Played in field to Williams, looking out wide now. Finds her teammate, and a cross can come in now, looking for Sheikah Lewis, but easily claimed in goal. Clear downfield now, looking for Thomas. And can Price get to it instead of Thomas? Yes, she can. Got there ahead of her just in time. Those long balls up top really causing some issues. As mentioned before, it's a contrast in styles. Camperdown do tend to be a bit more direct. Throw comes in here, headed away by Williams. Nugent trying to get past Campbell, unfortunately couldn't, and does surrender position. It is a throw in now to Excelsior. Throw comes in, headed away. It's a throw in to Camperdown, which will be taken by McDonald. A long throw into the box towards Thomas and then Smith, but that's cleared away eventually by Grant. And Tavia Gale loses position. Now Excelsior can counter. Here's Lewis. Has Stewart to her left, unable to find her, and seems she handled the ball there. And she thought she was going to get away with it for a second, but the referee calls play back, and Tavia Gale leaves it for Bianca McDonald to take, who's urging a number of her teammates just to go forward for the free kick. Taken now by Gale, that free kick, trying to find Smith, but didn't perhaps have the agility to extend her legs there enough to get to it. Perhaps not agility, flexibility, perhaps a better word. But nevertheless, the end result is a goal kick for Excelsior, which will be taken, it seems, by Shantae Price. Clear downfield now towards Sheikah Lewis, and someone clears. Back pass there could be dangerous, but before Rene Campbell can pounce, Camperdown do get rid of it. Gale once more delivers downfield, but that's put out of play for a throw in to Camperdown. Throw in taken now. Campbell, good touch. Oh, lovely no-look pass for Carlissa Stewart, who gets beyond someone, but good work there by someone just to force her wide, touch a bit heavy, and eventually goes out for goal kick. example there of Arania Campbell's skill on the ball, good ingenuity, and that ball put out of play there. Ooh, a bit of a dangerous touch there, but eventually cleared by Price. Cara Grant almost put her team in trouble, and Arania Campbell has had some absolutely sensational touches thus far in this game. Grant back to Campbell, trying to spin there to beat Berry, but unable to. And they've won the ball back here, Camperdown, and they've lost it once more with Jennifer Williams surging past a couple, and unfortunately just couldn't get the pass off to Neela Malcolm. And now here's Thomas trying to beat one, but unable to. Grant gets to the ball ahead of Jamelia Thomas, surrounded by two players, and she has the ball, but she's stuck between her feet, and eventually she does with a free kick. Was inevitable, given the position that she was in, but free kick taken a bit too quickly, perhaps, for the referee's liking. As I mentioned before, ladies and gentlemen, my apologies for what I said earlier. I thought, based on the information I had received, that it was going to be about 35 minutes, but turns out we are going the full 45 here. And Bianca McDonald will be taking this free kick. .71 minutes gone in this encounter. Free kick taken, and towards Shantae Price, who heads it away, and Smith with a shot, and that goes over the goal. She had time enough to compose herself before taking a shot on, but just perhaps a rush of blood in that situation, and the most dangerous strikers tend to be those who are pretty calm and cold-blooded in those situations. Just have to work on that, but nevertheless, score remains 0-0 currently. Now ball played over the top, and Donald gets to it and ahead of Lewis. It's a poor pass, but they still retain position. Salmon trying to find Grant, but Edwards finds finds Lewis, and she's offside. And right before she could unleash there, the flag does go up, much to her dismay. McDonald just moving around her teammates there, looking for the best positioning to see how best they can make use of this free kick now. But ball comes across to Carissa Salmon, who waited a bit before trying to control the ball instead of just going forward toward it. But now it's Dashika Lewis waiting for Arania Campbell, and not enough pace on that pass, and Salmon dribbled out of play before making the pass. That will be a throw-in. Edwards to take the throw in. Looking for options, unable to find one, but instead finds Campbell, and seems it's a fall through. Seems Edwards is, just arguing with her teammates about receiving options for the throw in. But nevertheless, Excelsior do get the ball back now with Jennifer Williams, who was arguing that she was fouled there, and used her behind to control the ball there on that occasion. Yesenia Grant. ingenuity on show by these young ladies. But now here's a pass from Yashika Lewis to Williams. Out wide now to Stewart. And once more, the touch just a bit too heavy. And not able to take her past Gale. It seems Gale clear downfield, but only as far as Kyra Grant. Grant gets it back. Pass to Williams. Has a shot! And just wide. Excelsior. 75 minutes gone. Beginning to really try to create some opportunities. They've had perhaps the better of the chances thus far in the second half. I did mention in the first half that it was really a back and forth kind of game. Both teams enjoying 5 to 10 minute spells of control here and there. But so far in the second half, it's been all Excelsior. And Kyra Grant gets past a defender here. And she's taken down on that far right-hand side. Just outside the box as well. And a yellow card has been brandished to Danica Berry. Will be a free kick. We did cover this competition, I believe. Well, not this competition, the Rainers Cup, I believe. And I'm sure that Kyra Grant, for those who would have played in that competition or been around it, would have been someone who most people remember. Brilliant midfielder. Now that's a free kick to be taken. Seems by Yashika Lewis. It's always a bit strange whenever I see strikers taking set pieces in positions of not necessarily goal scoring opportunities, but giving her ability and her confidence, she perhaps could be looking to go for goal from here, cause some problems. You'd think she'd want to be in the box to get on the end of it, but she perhaps has the technical ability to have a goal from distance. Instead makes the pass to Campbell, whose touch lets her down. Ball goes all the way through to Brenna Edwards, playing it to the box once more, and that's cleared again, this time by Gale. And there's Yashika Lewis. Ooh, and lost the ball here on Anila Perkins. No support yet. Gets past her defender. Turns, looking for a foul. She does get it. It's in a pretty dangerous area. Back-to-back fouls now on both ends of the pitch, in areas of real concern for either side of the defense. And we could see a goal here, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, given we're almost 10 minutes, we almost have 10 minutes left in this game. Would be a welcome sight for the neutrals to see either team score. Been plenty of chances and excitement and drama, but not yet any goals. And of course, that's what the fans come to see ultimately. Plenty of support from the stands with the music, but it's goal time. Tavia Gale with a delivery, headed away by Asanya Grant, and will be a corner kick for Camperdown. And what a story it would be if they were to upset Excelsior's 9-year win streak in this competition. Corner to be taken once more by Tavia Gale. Can they get the first goal of this competition? Headed on by Perkins, and Nugent just couldn't get the telling touch at the back post. And that all important first goal in this game, which perhaps could decide the fate of this tie, still eluding both teams. Play downfield now. Yashika Lewis is on it in a flash, has a teammate to her right, but she's disappointed as she once more has her progress halted by the linesman flag going up. As Berry on the ball, loses possession, wins it back. Thomas. Ooh, and that's Morris being shoved off the ball there, but Camperdown win the ball back. Trying to find Grant. Salmon. Rennie Smith trying to find Brooklyn Grant, but intercepted, but Brooklyn Grant wins the ball back. And now she's trying to find O'Neilla Perkins, but that's cut out there. Berry loses possession to Carlissa Stewart. And now here's Grant. Kyra Grant still on the ball, surging forward, shrugging off challenges and plays the ball out wide before tumbling to the ground, courtesy of a foul by Brooklyn Grant, who is shown a booking, yellow card, and a free kick in the middle of the park to Excelsior. Yeah. Free kick now taken by Price. And that'll go all the way through to the goalkeeper. Pretty comfortable save in the end. But I suppose that given the desperate nature of this game, anything's worth a try at this point. And now we have Jamelia Thomas. Long busting run. But a long busting run of her own. Shantae Price sees that cut out there. And going to ground there is Excelsior's player there. It seems like it's already, no, it's not Renee Campbell. One of their players has gone to ground, perhaps just with some cramp. Seems Ashika Lewis, no, Kyra Grant rather, still in some pain. And Grant being urged just to make her way off the pitch before returning, just to get some treatment. And until Grant can come back onto the pitch, Excelsior will have to defend with 10 men, well, 10 women. Price clears downfield looking for Yashika Lewis, who does control but loses position to Adriana Morris. McDonald loses the ball. Price wins it back for Excelsior. A lot of turnovers now. Morris does find Tavia Gale. Skips past Campbell. Let's loose from distance, but cleared eventually by Yesenia Grant. Playing it out wide now. And Jennifer Williams still has the ball. Gets past yet another challenge. This time by Renee Smith. She's fouled, however, and wins a free kick. Number of those tactical fouls coming in from Camperdown in this game. They really know how to stop the attacks of the opposition, not really letting them breathe, not letting them get any oxygen whatsoever. Letting those attacks develop. Price kicking downfield once more, but that strategy of going for goal from distance not necessarily working. Jamelia Thomas unable to bring it down. Berry heads it back to Thomas. Loses possession. Edwards trying to find Yashika Lewis. Oh, lovely pass out wide for Arania Campbell, who is offside. And the referee just urging Arania Campbell just to maintain her composure. It'd be a shame for her to be put on a yellow card with just under 10 minutes to go, because that of course would mean she'd be in danger of a red. Gale looking for Brooklyn Grant, but Yesenia Grant gets to it instead. There's Brianna Edwards, loses possession in a pretty dangerous area. Now it's Smith, loses it but gets it back. Or Nayla Perkins rather. Oh, plays it for a shot coming in. Oh, Danica Berry, as close as it gets for Camperdown so far in this half. Their best chance of the game, or perhaps the half rather. And Berry, following that shot, did go to ground for a moment. I thought at first out of frustration, but it seems that she was indeed in some pain. And 3 minutes will be added at the end of this game, it seems. And my apologies, it seems I was wrong yet again. The commentator is not doing well at all in terms of providing information. It's actually 40 minutes a game and 4 minutes added to the end of the half. 3 actually. And now Carissa Stewart's thrown goal and the shot is saved. End-to-end stuff here in this Schoolgirls final. Carissa Stewart really going for it here. It seems our production staff has been saved by that great effort by Brooklyn Grant. Even though the ball went to the play, still did well to stop the ball from going on to the scaffolding on which our cameraman is on top of. And that ball goes to the play. That will be a throw-in to Excelsior now. Grant takes the throw in. Glad that she's still on the pitch despite the number of knocks she's picked up. Renee Smith cleared. Grant. Neela McCollum to Malcolm, rather to Ashika Lewis, drifting past a couple of defenders. Plays it out wide for Arenia Campbell. Whips a crossing, but a bit too much on it. And we'll go all the way through for a, I believe it's a goal kick. It's actually a throw-in, it seems. And that'll be taken by Nugent. Now here's Gale. And that's put out of play following that deflection off Stewart, and that will be a throw-in to Camperdown. Just about 2 minutes, or slightly under 2 minutes remaining in the added time that was given. Not much more left, folks. Headed on. Now it's Brooklyn Grant looking around for options, finds Carissa Salmon out wide. Composes herself before playing a pass. And that's intercepted by Jennifer Williams. Looking for options. And that is the full-time whistle, ladies and gentlemen. And after 80 minutes plus of time being played in this game, we could not have a winner. And the game could not be decided in normal time, so penalties it is. The dreaded penalty shootout. It's always tough to lose a final like this, but especially on penalties. It's never a good feeling. And we did see in the ISSA All-Ireland Under-16 final, Jamaica College narrowly pipped Cornwall College in the final on penalties. After playing out a 1-1 draw in that game, we'll see whether or not that Excelsior can retain their championship, or will there be a new winner to dethrone the 9-time defending champions. We'll resume coverage shortly, but as we just get a look at the players there, just getting ready to take this penalty shootout, take to the pitch to commence the penalty shootout. It has to be said, nerves do come into play. As good as you may be in terms of just outright talent and ability to strike a ball or save a shot, your emotions do play a part, and they'll just have to make sure that at the end of the day they are calm and composed, and they get themselves ready mentally to endure what's about to be a grueling task. But stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen. We're about to have the penalty shootout for you coming up.
Alright, Miguel, show down this one. Let me see how down this one look. Zoom out, look a bit. Alright, yeah. MJ.
We are back, ladies and gentlemen. We're about to have The first penalty being taken here. It does seem as though Camperdown's goalkeeper will be the first one to take the penalty in what would be a pretty interesting choice, I have to say. She does look unfazed. She looks really composed. Coach Lancelot Livingston, I have to say, has gone with a pretty bold choice. We'll see if it pays off, however. As Excelsior looks to defend their crown as the ISSA Schoolgirl champions in football across the island. Referee just having a word with both goalkeepers before the commencement of the penalty shootout. But we're about to begin now. The first penalty, goalkeeper versus goalkeeper, woman versus woman. Shot, and it's a good height, and it scores. Camperdown in front. And you can see Aisha Ashman really upset with herself. It was coming at a good height, but nevertheless a really good penalty taken that time, and Camperdown take the lead here. But given the fact that, as I keep saying, 9 times in a row Excelsior have won this competition, I do believe they have the steel, they have the mentality, the nerves, the confidence to say that, okay, we're 1-0 down, we can still win this. And now we have Jennifer Williams to take. Up steps Williams, and it's over the bar! Excelsior shockingly missed their first penalty. Jennifer Williams, I thought, was one of the candidates for man of the match. Played a brilliant game, but she's blasted her penalty over the bar. Oh, unfortunate. You never like to see it come down to moments like that. And you can hear the support for Camperdown. About 40-50 members strong. Plenty have come from far to support their team, and I tell you, it'd be a victory for the ages if they were to win here today. The first winner in a decade. Goal, yes! O'Neila Perkins strikes again for Camperdown. She scored in the semi-final, and in the final here, she struck in the penalty shootout to put Camperdown in front. And up steps now Kyra Grant. She'll be attempting to get Excelsior back in this final, and it's an uphill task if she misses here. You can see the dismay, absolute distraught on the face of that player for Excelsior who just missed Jennifer Williams. But now Kyra Grant has a chance to avenge her. Up steps Kyra Grant. Oh, it's saved! And Camperdown have a 2-0 lead. Kyra Grant and Jennifer Williams absolutely disappointed, shell-shocked. And I have to say, Camperdown did look the more confident team, the more mentally strong team. But can they keep up their composure? Can they retain it and perhaps put this game to bed here? Of course, if they should score this penalty now, courtesy of Jamelia Thomas's strike, it would put them firmly in the driver's seat. Up steps Jamelia Thomas, and it's a goal! And now it all comes down to this, with 3 goals to the good for Camperdown. If Excelsior miss here, skipper Shante Price, the one being to take this penalty, it would ensure that for the first time in a decade, we'd have a new champion, a new victor, a new team, new high school on top of the Schoolgirls football pyramid, who will take the ascent of the throne this year in 2026. Will it be Excelsior? No! It will not be, as Camperdown are now your 2026 ISSA Schoolgirls football champions, following 3 consecutive misses in this penalty shootout. Jennifer Williams, Kyra Grant, and now former champion and captain Shante Price, they've each missed their penalties and they've all collectively collapsed to the ground. Each of them fought valiantly, played well right throughout the competition, and came into this, perhaps rightfully so, as favorites. But now it's only a look of dejection on their faces. As for the first time in 10 years, we do have a new champion atop the throne in schoolgirl football across the island. Camperdown are your champions for 2026. Excelsior have done well, but ladies and gentlemen, I've been John Stewart, and it's been a pleasure commentating and covering this game and this competition. But MG Sports are out. Have a good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
And the final MVP goes to Italia Robinson. By the second place team to collect their medal.
No money order. No money order.
So in that we wait for this photo. Congratulations to the 2026 ISSA Schoolgirl Football Champions, Camperdown High School.